Hey guys, I'm here to do a review on my 2003 Honda Rancher. I bought this machine brand new in 2003, and I can say overall it has been a fantastic machine. If you're looking for something fast or something that's the best and latest and greatest, well, this isn't your machine. It wasn't then, and it isn't now. But as far as something that's super reliable, easy to maintain, and will pretty much do what you want it to, this would be a good bike to buy if you found a nice one used. I did not go with the electric shift ES model. I went with the standard foot shifter. I did that for a couple of reasons. Just less things to possibly break. I had some friends that did have ES models, and even though it is a pretty reliable system, a few of them had problems with it, so I just decided to go simple. I did not get the dash either, which came with the ES model. So one other thing, if you roll it or something, you don't have to worry about crushing it or anything like that. So keeping it simple. A few things I like about this machine: it does have an auxiliary recoil starter, which is really nice. The bad thing about this is, if you've never used it and you go to use it, more than likely it will be all full of dirt and the recoil won't work and your rope won't go back in. So it's something that you should try to maintain, pull it out, clean it, maybe take it completely off. Rocky Mountain ATV does sell OEM rebuild kits for this. I did have to rebuild this one once because I never used it for a few years, and then I used it and it stuck out and just full of stuff. So here in Ohio, we got a lot of clay mud. It just goes in there, gets stuck. Some people put a little silicone around there and then kind of let the recoil pull starter go on top of it, kind of seals a little better, but overall stuff will get in it. It's got the stock engine. I've done nothing to it but the initial valve adjustment, and I've always used Honda OEM oil and filter. I know it's more expensive, but for the couple bucks more, I just always try to use OEM stuff. I've also had to do brakes on this, which isn't a big deal. It's 20 years old. This choke thing broke here. It's been broken for probably a decade. It still works. It just, you have to hold it. I don't even know how I broke it, but whatever. It still works good. I do snow plowing with this in the winter. I plow sidewalks. It's 2 miles every time I plow. So, do 10 times a winter. You do the math. It's getting a lot of miles plowing. It's done that for many years as well. I do put chains on the front tires when I plow. It helps out a lot. Some of the things I don't like about this, I do wish it had disc brakes on the front. You can convert them. It's kind of expensive. So for what I'm doing with it, it's fine. They do get gummed up with mud. And if any of you know these old Hondas with the drum brakes, they're not really the best. I've never had any issues with any of the CV shafts tearing, anything like that. I did have to do one of these wheel bearings once. I don't remember which side it was. This is air cooled. It does have a little oil cooler on it. It's never had an issue with overheating, anything like that. The plastics have held up well. They're dirty now. I spray fluid film on this in the winter just to keep some of the salt and grime off of it. The seats held up very well. Do I wish this was fuel injected? Not really. Sometimes I do in the winter for warming it up when it's cold, but it's one less thing to go bad with some type of a sensor or something like that. So for me, the carburetion's fine. I have taken this out west to Utah and Colorado. We did have to rejet it. I don't remember the exact size jet that we used, but we did the 5,000 to 10,000 altitude jet. We did go up as high as 13,000 feet, the Mosquito Pass in Colorado. It did have some hesitation at that altitude. Another jet change would have fixed that, but it wasn't worth it for the time that we were up there. The The one thing I can say about the carburation is with this new ethanol gas, if you don't shut your fuel off and it sits for a while, plan on pulling your carburetor apart, cleaning the jets, because this stuff is nasty. It'll destroy your carburetor. If you're running it often, it's not really as much of a concern, or just shut your fuel off when you're not using it. We did a 600-mile trip in Utah. This thing was really loaded down. I don't know how well the picture can show it, but it did flawlessly. We went for 2 weeks. We did about 600 miles. All in all, this has been a great machine. If you do find one used and it's well maintained, I would recommend buying it. If you're looking for something super fast or anything like that, well, like I said before, it's not going to be your machine. If you want something to work around the yard, do things like that, it's perfect for that. Any questions, leave a comment. And thanks for watching.